Good morning, sixth grade band students. Here is our assignment for Monday and Tuesday. I hope you all had a great weekend, got to spend some time outside, um, and practice, of course, practice social distancing. At the bottom of our assignments folder, I have a new folder for this week, distance learning for April 13th through April 17th. So I'm going to go into there. And we have an assignments folder for Monday and Tuesday, the 13th and the 14th. Okay. Here's our instructions for the day, and these video instructions will be in here as well. Okay, loading. Super exciting. Oh man, the suspense. I can hardly wait. All right. Sight Reading Factory. Login complete by the end of the day on Tuesday, April 12th. Okay. And then in Smart Music, we're going to continue with Standard of Excellence. We're going to do number 100, 101, 103, and 105. Here are some notes. Haha, pun is totally intended on each of these exercises. I know, I can see some of you going like this through the microphone right now. Guess what? My jokes are funny. All right, anyway, moving on. Number 100. For this one, it says to note your key signature. Okay, this is the same key signature that we worked on last week on page 23. So the flutes and the low brass, you guys have E natural in your key signatures. Okay, you only have one flat, and it's for this is the treble clef for the flute part. So there's a B flat there. If I go to a low brass instrument, like let's just pick trombone for the sake of a low brass instrument, just something to pick. Okay, trombone, baritone, tuba, your key signature is all going to look the same here, but you guys also only have one flat in your key signature there. So that is on the B line, so it's a B flat. There's no E flat where it normally is. So that means you have to play E naturals, which is a fingering that we worked last week. If you don't remember what E natural is, you can always click on an E natural and it will show you the fingering, or in this case, slide position. Okay. Moving on for the trumpets and the clarinets, you guys have a sharp in your key signature. Okay, and we worked on this note last week, but that would mean that you have to play F sharp. If you have a sharp on this line, it's always going to be F sharp. So that's noggin fingers for trumpets and pointer finger for clarinets. Okay. Um, Next is the saxophones. Okay, saxophones, you guys will have two sharps. You guys will have F sharp and C sharp. Okay, so there we go, F sharp and C sharp. So remember C sharp from last week is super easy on saxophone. Ix, no fingers. Okay, and then last, the horn. I believe it should be all natural. Nothing in the key signature. Boom, nothing in the key signature. Okay. Percussion for this one, I would like you to play snare drum. And here is um, your note in the Schoology says play snare drum. You have 16th and 8th note combinations, and I'll explain more in depth in the video instructions. Oh, yeah, that's right now. Yep, we'll do that. All right, well, once it loads. Okay, so snare drums, you guys have start off with 16th notes, which we did cover in our group lessons. Um, but the counting for 16th notes is 1 E and a. 1 E and a 2. You're fitting four counts into, or four notes into one count. 1 E and a 2. 1 E and a 2. Okay, that's the first measure. Now in the second measure, we have an eighth note. So an eighth note is worth half a beat. And each of these 16th notes, these are 16th notes because of the double bar, are worth a quarter of a beat. Okay, so this is all of beat one. Okay, these are the last two, or this is the second half of beat one divided in half. So the one and the E are contained here. So we're not going to say E, and we're left with and a 2. 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2. So that's a rhythm that is throughout this whole thing. 1 E and a 2. 1 and a 2. 1 E and a 2. 1 and a 2. Okay, it's like we're connecting these two to make that eighth note. Okay, then if you look at the second half of the song, here you have the opposite. Okay, you have two 16th notes and then an eighth note. Well, that's like we take our 16th note and we tie these two together. So 1 E and then that's tied together. So there's no that we're playing on, and then we get 2. So 1 E and 2. 1 E and 2. So the rhythm for all of number 100 is 1 E and a 2, 1 and a 2, 1 E and a 2, 1 and a 2, 1 E and a 2, 1 E and 2, 1 E and a 2, 1 E and 2. Okay? If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And that goes for any instrument, okay? Not just percussion, any instruments, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, okay? Next, 101, pocket change. So this is named pocket change. I kind of like what Mr. Pearson's dad did with this one because it's the same exact notes, or at least it looks like the same exact notes, but it's not all the same notes because they changed the key signature, okay? So in number 101, okay, next song in the book, Pocket Change, he changes the key signature. So the notes themselves are not changed, but they are changed by the key signature. So I'm going to start with the flutes. Sorry, it has to load twice. Ugh, technology, am I right? Okay, so you look, and if you look at just the notes, well, of course, once it loads, if you look at just the notes, it looks exactly the same as 100. But this part's different. Okay, there's a B flat, and E flat is back. So flutes, you're going to use E flat, okay? Let me pull up, just for the sake of something different, let me pull up the tuba part to demonstrate the low brass, okay? So low brass, trombone, baritone, tuba, your key signature will all look the same in number 101, but look at the difference between 100 and 101. Now there's two flats, B flat and that E flat is back. So you're now back to playing E flat, which you know and love from, it's the fourth note you learned from your early days of playing. Okay. Now let's look at trumpets and clarinets. We'll go to a clarinet part. Trumpets, yours is going to look pretty much the same. Okay. Hey, look, where'd that sharp go? There's not a sharp in the key signature. There's not a sharp in front of any note. So guess what? You guys are playing F naturals. Okay. Saxophones, they kind of do the same thing with you guys. They take away a sharp. Okay. You have F sharp and C sharp at number 100, but now in 101, you guys have just F sharp. So now you're going back to C with your middle finger. Okay. All right. All right then. And then horn will add a flat as well. It'll add B flat back into the key signature. The horn had nothing. It was an all natural key signature. And now we're going to have B flat. Okay. So that really goes over 100 and 101. The difference is they want to show you that two pieces of music can be completely changed by changing a key signature. Okay. So I need to hear the difference between 100 and 101 when I'm listening through these. Okay. Let me know if you have questions. Okay. Oh, and percussion, I should go over snare drum really quick. I also want you to play snare drum on this one, percussionist. But this will be kind of similar rhythms. It's the same rhythms, just in a different order, I believe. So first you have 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2. Oh, nope, it's actually exactly the same. Okay. So nothing really new there. All right, we're moving on to number 103. 103 is our next tune. Okay. Woodwinds, you guys have some new low notes. So I'm going to kind of go over the woodwind parts here. Okay. So, which right now we have drums, but I can switch it maybe when, there we go. That's nice to know. So woodwinds, we have some new low notes. You can look in your red book and look at those yellow boxes to help you with those low notes, or we have that super cool feature on Smart Music that I showed you in last week's video, how you can click on a note. Oh, look, there's the fingering. Okay, so flutes, you guys have low E flat as your new note. Okay, this is like you're just almost pressing everything down. Thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and pinky. And it's a lower note. So what are we going to do with Airstream? Yes, we're going to slow it down. Good job. All right. Let's look at the clarinets now. Clarinets also have low notes. Brass and percussion, you don't really have anything new on this one. Okay, so no new worries as far as notes or rhythms in this one. This is more teaching these lower notes to the woodwind instruments. Okay, now with clarinet, we have low, C, B, A, G, F. Okay, And if you look at the fingering for F, you're going to put your thumb down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then, oh, you have these 4 pinky keys you've never used before. We are going to use, there's kind of a top row and a bottom row of pinky keys. We're going to use the top row and the bottom one. Okay? So when you look at the fingering chart, it's like you're looking straight at the instrument. It would be this key you're playing with your pinky. Do, 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 do. Okay? So that is our fingering for the low F in there. And then saxophone's one more. You guys have low C. Okay? And yours is kind of similar to the clarinets and the flutes, really, in that we're just closing up all the holes. Okay? You're not pressing your octave key. You're pressing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you have 2 pinky keys down here that you guys have never used, and you're using this lower pinky key. Okay? So if you look at low C and you click on it, Smart Music, okay, this right here is on the diagram where we have that low C. Okay? Easy enough. All right, so that's really what smooth sailing is about. And then you also have 105, which is theme from Hansel and Gretel. I'm sure a story you're familiar with from elementary school. At some point, you've probably come across this story. Okay. Okay. Notes wise, this one is not going to be terribly difficult. Okay. I believe the clarinet part has some of those low notes again. And so does saxophone and so does flute. It uses those low notes that we just learned. Okay. Brass and percussion, again, you're not super influenced by this, but we do have a DC El Fine. So here's how the roadmap goes for this one. We're going to start at the beginning of the song. Okay. We play all the way up until, oh, we hit a repeat. Now we go back to the beginning. Play, 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 play. Okay, we hit the repeat again, but we already repeated. So now we're going to keep going. Play, play. Oh, breath mark. Keep playing, keep playing. DC El Fine right here at the end. So you hit this bar line, and then you're going to go back to the beginning of the piece. Okay, I know it doesn't have a traditional repeat sign, but DC El Fine, we just need to learn, means to repeat back to the beginning of the piece. So we're going back to the beginning of the piece. Then we play these 4 measures again. Since we already did this repeat, we're not going to do it again, but we end at the fine. Okay, I know it looks like the word fine. It's not. It's Italian, and it means finished. Okay, so it's like we hit the finish line. Okay, of the music. Okay, so one more time, really quick. Beginning, the repeat, beginning to the end, DC El Fine back to the beginning, play of the fine, done with the song. Okay, and the nice thing about smart music is as you play along, you know, the cursor here, this blue line, will, you know, go through the music with you, and it will go through the repeats properly. So it'll kind of help teach you this as well. Okay. So happy practicing, 6th graders. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. I can, you know, email back and forth. We could do a phone call, or we can even start doing, if you wanted to do a one-on-one Zoom appointment, that's something that we can do as well. And I'm happy to help you out with whatever you might need. So happy practicing, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you later.